Donald Trump's conspiracy-minded first national security advisor begged him to improve his handling of the Jeffrey Epstein scandal that's dogging his administration. The Department of Justice infuriated MAGA adherents by abruptly announcing Epstein had not kept a client list and was not murdered in prison, despite the Attorney General teasing major new developments in the case. The president has called on his supporters to stop asking questions about the matter, but retired U.S. Army General Mike Flynn implored him to reconsider. "I hesitated to write this, however, with the utmost respect and deference to you for all you've withstood. If you know it better than me what the deep state can do when they want to turn on a person," wrote Flynn, who has trafficked in conspiracy theories since pleading guilty to lying to FBI agents about his contacts with Russia. "The Epstein affair is not about who killed him or if he committed suicide. Personally, I'm glad this known pedophile is dead," Flynn added. "But neither is this a hoax. This issue goes beyond all that. There are millions of Americans who overwhelmingly voted for you to be our president, and we want you to be massively successful. No one more than me. Personally, I still have a target on my forehead. I know that, but, like you, I still fight." Flynn served as national security advisor in the opening weeks of Trump's first presidency until he fell under scrutiny for lying to investigators about his contacts with the Russian ambassador to the U.S., and he promoted 2020 election conspiracies and associated with QAnon adherents before scoring a presidential pardon. Beyond all that, our country is facing a level of internal subversion, and it is a relentless attack on the very foundation of our constitutional republic, Flynn posted. "If you're not successful, our country may not survive. It's that extreme of a situation we currently face." Read Lincoln's Lyceum speech of 1838. He knew, as you know, and as we all can see with our very eyes, our nation will not die from a foreign foe, never. If we die, it will be by our own suicide. Lincoln indirectly blamed slavery for lawlessness in the speech, which was written more than 2 decades before the Civil War, and called for the adoption of a political religion based on the U.S. Constitution and the rule of law, which seemingly contrasts with Flynn's efforts to establish Christianity at the center of the government. There is an ongoing undermining by subversive elements inside and outside the U.S. government, Flynn warned. That is the essence of the deep state. All we want at this stage is for a modicum of trust to be reestablished between our federal government and the people it is designed to serve. That's all, period. An element that is of great importance surrounding this Epstein affair is the fact this man was a known pedophile, had a list of clients who represented the upper crust of society, and likely did untoward things to children on his island, in his homes in NYC, and New Mexico, and maybe elsewhere. He was convicted of it. Regardless of what class of society abuses and commits crimes against children, it is never acceptable, Flynn added. This is where this argument went off the rails. It is not about Epstein or the left. It is about committing crimes against children. If he were part of an intel operation known or run by our CIA, shame on them, and those responsible must be held accountable. If there is another country involved, then shame on them as well. If there are elites inside of our country that committed crimes against children, shame on them, and they must be held accountable. Flynn then poured on some flattery in his appeal to Trump before asking him to get his act together. "Few know how many crystal balls you juggle on a daily basis. I do," Flynn wrote. "And I know you cannot drop any of them. With my strongest recommendation, please gather your team and figure out a way to move past this. The rollout of this was terrible. No way around that. Americans want America to be successful, therefore, we need you to be successful. Please take this missive as though coming from someone who willingly and voluntarily fought for this country against multiple enemies overseas only to come home to face my greatest enemy right here at home," he added. "You know precisely what I mean. God bless you, and may God continue to protect you from the dark forces that do exist. I believe you were put on this earth for such a time as this. You truly represent Isaiah 6:8.